Hi everyone. I'm going to make an apron. I did this apron, well, I didn't do a tutorial on it, a video on it, but I showed it in one of my videos, and I can't remember where I put the one that I made. So, I had a request to make this apron and show you how I do it. And so, let's get started. Now, this will work on 2 fat quarters or any fabric. It don't matter. I'm going to give the measurements out, plus I'll put them down below if you want to make this apron or whatever. It's a child's apron, or you could use it for yourself. You'll just have to, the ties will have to be longer, which I'll be using bias tape. So it, whatever you prefer. But I'm going to make a child size, so a child's apron. Alright, what you want to do is, you want to cut, where's my other ruler? You're going to cut one piece that measures 18 inches. Okay, 18 inches by 9. Oh, excuse me, my throat. Sorry, I had to take a drink. By 9. I was looking at my notes here. And if you have something that's printed, make sure it's directional, like I'm going to show you here. I've got little dragonflies. This right here. So I want to make sure that this is this is your body, so this is what's going to face up, and you want to make sure, that you have them going the right way. If you turn it, then they may either go upside down or whatever, but I've got this going the right way, and this is going to be your main piece right here. And I'm going to go around and make sure that I've got everything cut exact, and I do. So your main part to your apron is 18 by 9 inches. Alright. Now I'm going to use this, which it has like little flowers. I'm going to use this for the pocket of the apron. So you are going to roughly need for the pocket 18 inches by 6. So you need 18 . by 6 inches. Now, I'm going to fuse this with fusible fleece. It kind of gives it a more structure. It just gives it more body. So I'm going to fuse these two pieces down with fusible fleece. So I'm going to go do that real quick, and then I will be right back. Okay, I've got my pieces ironed onto the fusible fleece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this down. Okay. I am just cutting out all my pieces. Probably will. I have a little bit right here. Use my scissors. Okay, now you're finished with your two pieces. Move my stuff over here. I need to make sure that I got plenty of bobbin so I do not run out in the middle of my project. Okay, and then I'm going to bring you over here closer to me. I'm going to move the camera. So I can see it. Okay. I've got a full bobbin, so I don't think I should run out, but because I'm going to be using bias tape I've got me a pink, because this is, well, yeah, I need to change it into the pink. Okay. Okay. I hate this. Alright. Now, I'm probably going to use 2 different pinks on this. Just to give it a little. I wish I had some green. I'd use it to stand out this piece right here. But 18. Let's see, I know I did. Did I do 18? I'm trying to figure out here on my measurements. 18 by 6. Do I have 18 inches? Nope, I need to cut a little off. Alright. Okay, just had to cut a tad off. Alright, now, the first thing what we're going to do is we're going to put the bias tape on the edge of your front piece right here. So what I'm going to do is, okay, I'm going to use this. I'm not together here. And okay, I'm just going to leave my white in. What you want is your top thread and your bottom thread to match. But I'm just going to keep with white for the top. And I've got the pink for the bottom. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, you know, you have your bias tape like this. And I'm just going to fold it and I'm just going to lay it on top just like that. And then I'm going to take some of my Wonder Clips just to get me started. And I am just, you want to make sure okay, I want to make sure that I have this covered the front and the back. Okay, and which looks like that. So I've got it. Okay, so now what you want to do is you're going to sew that and you want to try to get to the edge as possible. And I'm going to back stitch. So you can kind of see what I'm doing here. I think I might need to change my needle. Yeah, it sounds like I need to change my needle. I probably will do it after here. I'm going to change my needle. That's how you know if you need to change your needles, is you kind of hear that little popping sound, what it's doing. And that kind of tells you it's getting dull, so. So I'm going to change it after I get to put this right here. Alright. And then you want to cut the excess off. So there is your first piece that this is your pocket. This is what you got done. Okay, I'm going to put you on pause and I'm going to change my needle and I'll be right back. Okay, I got my needle changed. So now what you want to do is you want to get you a ruler and a fabric friction pin or whatever. And what you're going to do is, I'm trying to get where you can see what I'm doing. Okay. You're going to fold your pocket in half. And you can press this, but I'm just going to fold mine in half. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler on that fold mark and then I'm going to place a pin right there. That tells me that's going to be like the middle of my pocket. So if you can see where I've got the pin and then I've got the friction pin, I drew aligned it. Now, what also you're going to do is you're going to take this in and you're going to put it right directly on that line, what you just marked, and then you're going to fold it again. Okay, you're going to take your little bitty ruler and you're going to do the same thing. Now you can press it, but I just find it easier to get a marking tool and a ruler and just fold and mark my lines. And so now I'm going to do the other one. I'm going to fold my end piece. Cut that string. I'm going to fold my end piece right directly on that line. And I'm going to get a crease on it. Get my ruler. Okay. Now, you should have created 4 pockets. 1, 2, 3, 4. And those pins are letting you know where you created the lines, but it makes you 4 pockets. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your body piece, your main piece, and I'm going to do something different. I'm thinking here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew this down. Because when you sew it, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm doing something a little bit different. Okay. I'm going to sew this together, and what you do is you take your main piece. Now you can do this. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to try it, but I'm going to do a little different on this apron. You're going to take your 2 pieces together like this. And then I'm just going to put some pins in here. And I'm just going to sew 1/4 of an inch straight down. Make sure you back stitch on your ends. Now you can get creative with this. It's your apron, child's apron, whatever you want to do. You can mark as many pockets. I don't know why my machine is vibrating. Turn down the speed there. Okay. Now, it's going to look like this. Let me show you. Okay. It's going to look like this. Okay. It's like, okay, well, I guess I messed up. Well, you didn't. So, what you're going to do is, now I'm going to take this to my iron. I'm going to take this to my iron and I'm going to give it a good press and then I'll be right back. Okay, what I did was kind of pin my pockets down and got all this fixed down here. This just, on the other one, you put bias tape all the way around the pocket. Well, you'll just create bias tape here on out and you won't have to do the bottom. That's how I'm going to do this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to top stitch this bottom down. So I am going to and just do I'm just going to make sure I sew that bottom down. You don't have to, but I'm going to do it. It'll just help it keep it stay in place. Okay. Now, you've got that top stitch down at the bottom. You can see where you top stitched it. Okay, now we're going to stitch our pockets down. So, where you've created your marks with your pin, which I have here, and where you marked your line, I need to go. That's where you're going to sew to create your pockets. So, I'm going to use this first mark here, take my pin out. I'm going to start right on the bias. Well, my bias tape where I marked. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right down to the bottom. And then back stitch on that bias tape and then move forward. Let's see if I can get you a little closer here. And then you do the next one. Take your pin out. I'm going to put my presser foot right down at the bottom, and I'm going to hit my back stitch button. And then now you're working on your last one. Okay. Now I'm going to take these extra pins out that I've got to hold in my pocket. And there you go. Now, on these ends here, we're just going to do a little basting stitch. So I'm going to, if you have a basting stitch on your machine, we're just going to baste this just to kind of hold it down. It's just to hold it down, and then we're going to do the bias binding all the way around it. Okay, now I just basted my just my two sides. It's just going to hold it down. So you want to trim all your stragglies. What I call them. Alright, now we're fixing to get ready for the bias tape. You've already created your pockets here. So now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use let's see. Okay, this is how we're going to do this. Okay, you're going to take your bias tape, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stitch it from corner to corner. So you want to I'm doing this a little bit different. Let's see, do I have enough to do? Okay. I'm going to go down one end, and you're just Now, you don't have to do it this way. You can take your bias tape and you can start from one end all the way the other up this end with your bias tape. Okay, you can do it that way. You can do it however you want to do it. This is your apron, kid's apron, whatever you create it, however you want to create it. You can use ribbon. You can do whatever you want to do with this. And this is what I'm going to do with this. I'm kind of creating something different. So I'm going to make sure and so I'm going to stitch from one end to one end. I'm stitching from up here down here. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, I need to get it off that basting stitch.